I've called to order, okay? Okay, now, it's 6 o'clock. I'm going to call the Administration Committee meeting to order. Okay. 6. CA. Okay. And now roll call.
Yeah.
Okay. John?
Here.
Andra?
Here.
Mary? Here? Okay.
Yeah, and it looks Nate Woody's here too, Mary.
Okay.
Who are the two call-in users? I knew one is John.
Those are both me. I got it in twice.
Okay.
I'm not the calling user, I'm just the user.
Whoa.
Okay. Out of that. Oh, you have made changes. Do you want to save them? Yes. Okay. Citizens' comments? Nate, did you want to say something?
No, I don't think any comments. I provided
Yes,
my
right.
suggestions, and so I was just present to see where that went. If people have questions, I'm happy to answer them, but no comments.
Okay, thank you. All right, let me get out of this. Okay, review and approval of the previous minutes. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay. 3. 4, okay.
Oh, there's John.
Oh, I gotta get out of this. Yes. Okay. Okay. The first item of business is the review and edit the proposed an ordinance regarding control of dogs in parks and recreation areas, school property, and historic districts. I make a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. You saw the not the minutes, but the draft of August the 5th. We took Nate Woody's suggestions into account, and we made some changes. But in summary, if people ask why we're doing this, considering there's a state statute, but the state statute is silent on leashes, and I guess this would, enforce that now. Also, the Conservation Commission would like to choose some leash-free trails. They haven't come up with that list yet, but that has to be approved by the town council. The Ledyard Police Department and the Animal Control Officer is in charge of enforcement, and the fine is $92. Anybody, anything?
I want to just clarify. You said that the council would have to approve the suggested trails. I don't know about that. This provides the option if the Conservation Commission wants to exercise that option.
That is correct. It's a may, not a shall.
Okay. I guess my question though is, once we approve the ordinance, are you saying that after we approve the ordinance, the council would then also need to approve any list proposed by the Conservation Commission?
When they come up with that list, yes.
Okay,
And the list is not together yet.
right.
And in fact, they may not even do anything because there's kind of a division in that commission. Some people want it and some don't. So they'll have to make up their mind and then bring it to us if they want it carried out.
Okay.
Mary, I just also want to let you know, it's just Chief Rich, and I'm here on the line if you need me. I'm going to be on mute.
Okay, thank you.
Chief Rich.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
All right, any other suggestions? And then we'll vote on sending this to the town council.
No, I like the proposed, the new draft, the proposed change that from Nate.
Pardon me?
I think Nate has some good ideas. I like the proposed changes.
John, are you
They
still
were sent
called
to
in?
you. They were sent to you, John, this past week or last week.
Yeah, I like them.
Oh,
He's
okay.
here.
I'm
John,
sorry.
can you mute one of the lines that you're in on? We're hearing you a double version of everything you say.
I get votes, right? Yeah, I'm not doing that. Let me try.
Everything you say is garbled.
Sorry, this is like hit and miss.
Okay, I think he should be all right. I got rid of his second user.
Okay. Okay, are we ready to vote?
We are.
Okay,
I
John?
think so.
Okay. Wait, I'm trying to find that. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, John?
Yes.
Oh, wait, you want to make the motion to approve the changes and send it to the town council?
I don't have anything in front of me to read, Mary. I can't see a thing right now.
Okay, well, it's,
I'll make the motion. Wait.
okay,
There's some sort of motion on the table already, isn't there?
okay, maybe I made
Yeah,
the motion and,
Yeah, Mary, you already made the motion.
all right, and, okay.
So really, all in favor of recommending the council approve an ordinance regarding control of dogs in parks and recreation areas, school property, and the historic district as contained in the draft dated August 5th, 2020, based on comments received at the July 22nd, 2020 public hearing. Say aye.
Aye.
Aye, sorry. I didn't mean to commandeer it, Mary. I was just
No,
trying
that's
to
all right, I'm
get
trying
the words
to,
out.
I'm trying to run this computer and it's just,
I know. It is very difficult to run the meeting, to run the platform of the meeting and also chair the
Mhm.
protocol of the meeting. I totally agree.
Mary, I just wanted to mention at the public hearing, Nate Woody had mentioned it would have been good if the ACO or the police was there, maybe to provide some input. So with Chief Rich here, I didn't know if Nate might have had some questions regarding the leash ordinance that he could direct to him while he's here at the meeting.
Sure, if you have any questions, Nate?
So my primary questions were just around understanding whether the leash law was needed to address actual problems or whether the existing state statute provided what was needed already to deal with some of the problems that we'd seen with dogs. And so those were really my questions, were just understanding, what additional powers this actually gives us. So yeah.
I think the state statutes seem to indicate that, or they say under the control of, but I don't think that was satisfactory for a number of people that have had incidences with dogs. And so that's why the leash was added to it.
So I think my question for Chief Rich, though, was that both the state statute and sort of the legal commentary around it says that the existing state statute can be used anytime a dog is not under someone's control, whether or not they are leashed. And so I was trying to understand if that is true in the opinion of the ACO and Chief Rich, that when they have a problem with a dog, they are currently able to use the state statute to ticket those offenses. Because there has been some question, you know, the ACO made an offhand comment at some point that the statute couldn't be used for that. And I've been trying to get clarity on that. And so I think that's my question for Chief Rich. If you have someone who's at Nathan Lester Park, right, and they have a dog that is off leash and harasses someone, are they able to use the existing state statute to ticket that person?
Yeah, the answer would be yes, Nate. It would be, you know, if the ACO does an investigation about any dog that's roaming or not under the control of the owner, and in this case, you know, I think what came up was a dog came up on people that was off leash, and either toward their dog or to themselves, and they were alarmed by it, and then were either dismayed that the town doesn't have a leash law or an ordinance and that kind of thing. So, so the state statute allows for basically, you know, a dog that's very well trained, and you know as well as I do, it's certainly in the police canine world as well. You know, you can train the dog to be at your hip and stay there on your command. And not everybody has that kind of a dog or has that kind of training or that kind of capability. So I think what we discussed with Councilor Ingalls and the committee was basically that, you know, the town has places that are in special districts or whatever, or special use type of places, including our schools and whatnot, where we do have additional regulations about basically where can you park a car, where can you, that kind of thing. That can be a town ordinance that's enforceable in lieu of a situation that's not public property or a public roadway and that kind of thing. That is normally where the state statutes are enforced as it relates to traffic. So it's really kind of over and above and at the preference of the town whether you wanted to designate certain areas that, hey, this place has a leash law, and you need to have your dog on a leash if you're in this Parks and Rec place, or this historic commission property, or whatever it might be. So that was the discussion, and you know, we always have the option to we have the ability under statute to create ordinance to deal with a special problem or an issue that happens to come up in our community, just like any other community could. So that was the discussion, Nate.
Thanks. And so just to follow up, the power that this ordinance certainly does give that the state statute doesn't provide are the ability to ticket on playgrounds or areas like that, right? There's nothing in the state statute that would provide that power, right? Because they are simply around control. So whereas this would give you, if you have a dog under your control, but it's on a playground, you would be able to ticket here. Is that correct?
Yeah, not maintaining control in a place where the people of the town decide in the legislative process that this is a place where you need to have your dog on a leash. Versus, so if that's the purpose in my estimation of the ordinance, and if that's what the community decides, that's what we want, and that's what we believe is appropriate for Ledyard, to have a leash law in Parks and Rec, schools, and certain historic properties or whatever it might be, then like we had recommended and spoken with Councilor Ingalls about would be, you know, the appropriate signage that warns people about that, the citation of the statute on the signage, I should say, of the ordinance on the signage. So there's no gray area, no unclear. You stepped onto the trailhead. Here's the sign, and this is a place where you have to have your dog on a leash. So does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I'm just trying to sort of clarify what, essentially what powers this gives us. And so, I mean, I think you said what I understood, which, you know, is there is, if someone currently, without this ordinance, right, someone takes their dog, say they're under control, right, whether they're on a leash or whether they're unleashed but under control, and they take them on a playground, right? Without this ordinance, we have no ability to ticket that person, right, under state statute at all, correct?
Correct. Yeah, it would be if the dog is under control, under their control, and it wouldn't be enforceable, because if the dog didn't do anything or just stayed at their side or wagged his tail or whatever it might be. I think the purpose of it is if a dog, you know, does what some dogs will do and, you know, approaches people or scares people or alarms people or that kind of thing, is, you know, there are people who, as you know, are terrified of dogs in general, or maybe had a negative experience, and they certainly more comfortable with a dog that's on a leash versus a dog that's not on a leash and is a wild card, at least in their eyes. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. That's what I was trying to get out of you was, you know, because in my mind, I understand the desire to be able to ticket on playgrounds or places that we do not want to have dogs on town property. I think that's totally, and that cannot be done by any other mechanism. And so, you know, so I agree. That was my interpretation, and you know, I agree. I'm glad that you agreed with that. And the other thing I was trying to get across is, you know, my concern has always been that the state statute already provides a mechanism for dealing with problem cases where we have a problem dog, whether it's on leash or off leash. And, you know, the state statute allows us power to do that. And I wanted to make sure it did. And I understand that what this does is this essentially removes discretion. And so it doesn't matter if the dog is under control or out of control, it's whether or not it is attached to a rope. And so, yeah, I get that. And I thank you for your comments. I appreciate it. I think, you know, as I've said all along, I think getting the ACO's comments at the public hearing would have been great. So I'm glad that you're here tonight to clarify that. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Not a problem. Go ahead, Mary. I'm sorry.
That's right. One of the other problems is, in fact, at the public hearing, there was a woman who came and talked about the fact that one particular dog in her neighborhood attacked her twice, but she never complained. She never made a complaint against the owner. And also, in the case of Parks and Rec, for years, they have had signs, you know, do not bring your dog, but people have just ignored it. And so they have this now, hopefully will put some teeth into their signs, and maybe we even need new signs to make it more, you know, that they'll understand. They cannot bring a dog onto the field where the kids are playing, even in the stands, you know, bring your dog and let them sit with you. So hopefully this will draw attention to that problem.
Yeah, I've spoken a little bit with Scott Johnson and run some ideas even by the chief and the ACO about what needs to be on the signs. And everybody agrees that the signs need to be more prominently displayed and include the ACO's phone number. I think that's a big thing that's missing from the existing signage. Is there's no immediate information if somebody is in violation.
Right.
I would certainly argue that if you want to have this be effective, you've got to include an education component in addition to those signs. The only way that, you know, any of these have ever worked in, you know, parks has been, you know, by really trying to get public and getting out there and meeting with people and saying, hey, here's what you need to do and here's why we're doing it. You know, because otherwise, you know, people ignore signs. It's just kind of what they do. And so I do think that, you know, education is really important here.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with you. I think the you know, in the passage of any new state law, there's a process. Even with the state, it's a process of getting the word out. There's a period where, you know, there's some grace, if you will, some education, and I think that would be appropriate in this matter too. Just as though you have excellent communication between the committee and the animal control officer, so we come up with a plan for that. I think it would be very doable.
Okay. We'll move on to sorry.
We need to vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we did. Okay, I made the motion, and, second.
Second.
Okay, seconded by John. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. All right. Next is a motion to recommend the town council appoint Mrs. Jennifer Lineaweaver, unaffiliated, 25 Hillcrest Avenue, Ledyard, to the Board of Assessment Appeals as a regular member to complete a 4-year term ending December the 5th, 2023, filling a vacancy left by Ms. Kelly.
Second.
Okay. The Ms. Lineaweaver is already a certified municipal assessor, has been for over 16 years, and she has been a clerk for the Board of Assessment in Groton. Is there any further discussion?
Nope, excellent choice.
Wait, I'm just thinking, I made the motion. Did somebody second? John seconded. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
And
Excuse me,
Mary, I
Mary,
think
are we
you
doing
missed
David
one.
Nelson tonight?
Okay, I'm sorry. What?
Are we doing David Nelson tonight?
Yes, we are. Yes, he's next up on the list.
Okay, mine's reversed then.
Yeah, mine is reversed also.
Okay, hold on, let me. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right, John, you want to make a motion on
Sure,
number
yep.
2?
I move to appoint Mr. David Nelson, Republican, 25 Hyde Park Drive, Gales Ferry, to the Board of Assessment Appeals as an alternate member for a 4-year term ending August 26, 2024, in accordance with Chapter 4, Section 6 of the Town Charter.
Second.
Okay. Mr. Nelson, in reading his bio, wants to volunteer time instead of sitting idly by, and his voice does not get heard. I thought that was kind of neat. Okay, all in favor of Mr. Nelson being appointed as an alternate?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. The ayes have it. All right. All right, let me get out of this. Okay, the next, do you want to make this motion, Andra?
Sure. I move the council I motion to recommend the town council appoint Mr. Roger Cotting, Republican, 13 Hemlock Circle, Gales Ferry, to the Retirement Board as an alternate member for a 3-year term ending August 26, 2023.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Roger Cotting has been attending the retirement board meetings since April, and he's also the chair of the Board of Assessment since 2012. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And I think that's it for tonight.
Good job, Mary.
Roxanne, do I need anything else?
No, you're good. You can adjourn.
Okay. Motion to adjourn?
Motion
So
to adjourn.
moved.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, John. Thanks, Nate. Thanks, Rox.
Good job.
Good night, everybody.
Okay.
Thanks, Chief Rich.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Chief Rich. Sorry, you're not on my
Thank you
screen.
very much. Okay.
Oh, there's everybody.
Okay, where are we?
Motion
So
to adjourn.
moved.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, John. Thanks, Nate. Thanks, Rox.
Good job.
Good night, everybody.
Okay.
Thanks, Chief Rich.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Chief Rich. Sorry, you're not on my
Thank you
screen.
very much.